Esoteric studies, esoteric studies, Jungian studies, deep investigation. Someone once said, don't read a book unless it's like a ball of light glowing in your hands. Find the right books or other worthy objects of contemplation, and you will have that experience. Since you are consulting the Zap Oracle, you likely have an essential connection to esoteric studies. Esoteric study is not a hobby or eccentricity, but and it's a universal aspect of human culture. You find this in any universal culture. There's some people that, even if it's a pre-literate tribal culture, the shaman will be doing things like this. So there are always those who will attempt to pull back the veils and find out how deep the rabbit hole really is. It is an essential aspect of human intentionality, and that's why versions of esoteric studies exist in all cultures during all periods. Some take a shamanic path and emphasize entheogens and direct experience. Others take an intellectual approach that has more to do with books, or a combination thereof. My esoteric studies are a mix of all of these things, including entheogens, much more in the past, and rarely, because they would usually be traumatic, but books, of course, but more often just by actively writing and hunting down intuitions and rabbit holes that have lit up in my own psyche and following those in a very active mode. But find the approach that works best for you at this time. This is also what I call the path of the numinous. Find something that is numinous, that lights up as having an uncanny significance, and then follow that down the rabbit hole. But do it rigorously, and I will point out some of the things. Well, I might as well point it out now, because many people do it, esoteric studies, the wrong way. So the key resource on Zap Oracle is a YouTube series called Skills for Rabbit Hole Navigation in an Age of Metamorphosis. Another one is called Carnival 2012, a psychological study of the 2012 phenomenon and the 22 pitfalls and blind spots of esoteric research. So those are very important toolboxes that will prevent you from making a lot of the classic mistakes, which most people do in pursuing esoteric study. Jung cautioned against approaching the unconscious without a moral purpose. For shamans, this purpose often revolved around healing. Whether you seek personal healing or wish to uncover the hidden truths of our world, it's vital to anchor your studies in a clear moral purpose. This will serve as a compass, guiding your actions and intentions throughout your journey. Many traditions warn esoterics to keep esoteric studies secret, just as Gandalf told Frodo, in the movie at least, keep it secret, keep it safe. Don't depotentiate and degrade your esoteric studies by speaking about them to the unreceptive. One of those classic mistakes. As Aleister Crowley said, if I tell a man something he is not ready to hear, it is the same as if I told him a lie. During the Middle Ages, the best educated people in the world were monks who had the good fortune to live in monasteries that sometimes had as many as 100 books. No other era can hold a candle to ours in the availability of esoteric material. What were once the most closely guarded secrets, kept inside a locked chest, within the inner courtyard of the monastery or whatever, are now available free online. Ancient sacred texts like the Tibetan Book of the Dead or the Egyptian Book of the Dead are uncopyrighted and freely accessible. Unless the internet goes down, there are more opportunities for esoteric research than you could exhaust in thousands of lifetimes. For example, it would take most people hundreds of hours just to explore the esoteric content on this website, but please do so. As far as we can discern, this is Carl Jung speaking, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. This is what esoteric research can do. I came up with a one-sentence version of the Jewish religion that relates to this, and it is to carry the torch of consciousness forward and engage in rigorous self-examination for the purpose of advancing ethical conduct. So if in your esoteric research you are trying to improve yourself as a person and improve your ethics, that gives it a moral purpose. And if you are also trying to export some of your esoteric research, again, only to the receptive, to those who share your commitment to consciousness, then that gives it a double moral purpose, which is what I feel about my work. So that can really make the esoteric research healthy, rather than where you get lost in conspiratorial rabbit holes and get obsessed with the wrong things. But definitely follow up with the links provided at the end of this card for our whole toolkit for pursuing esoteric research.